Jungles are worlds unlike any other, with their vast and largely uncharted terrain, holding endless possibilities for discovery and adventure with each step. There's no telling what strange and mysterious things we may unearth. These are places where danger and beauty coexist, where ancient secrets and modern questions collide, and where the impossible becomes reality, from the world's oldest forest to breathing trees. Follow along for the 15 strangest things discovered in the jungle. Number 15, world's oldest forest. Did you hear about the amazing discovery of the world's oldest fossil forest? No. Well, hold on to your hats, because this discovery is mind-blowing. In 2019, a group of paleobotanists from Cardiff University stumbled upon the ancient forest in an abandoned quarry near Cairo, New York. Who would have thought that a rural community in Greene County would be the birthplace of such a groundbreaking discovery? The forest dates back more than 385 million years into the past, making it the oldest known fossil forest in the world. This forest was so massive that it would have stretched from New York all the way to Pennsylvania and maybe even beyond. And get this, the site was actually discovered back in 2009, but the scientists are still finding new things to marvel at even today. The fossilized wood root systems of dozens of ancient trees found in the quarry is 2 to 3 million years older than those of a previously discovered forest found in Gilboa, New York. These trees had massive and complex root systems that were believed to have not evolved so early in geological time, but this discovery has turned that idea on its head. Some of the fossilized roots form 36-foot wide, horizontal radial patterns that spread out from where the ancient vertical tree trunks once stood. This is a turning point in Earth's history, because when trees evolved these roots, they helped pull carbon dioxide from the air, which drastically changed the planet's climate and led to the atmosphere we know today. Who knew trees were such superheroes? So the next time you're wandering through a forest, take a moment to appreciate the roots beneath your feet, because they just might hold the key to the future of our planet. Before we go on like this, video and subscribe with notifications, and you'll have amazing luck for the rest of the week. Number 14, the swamp ghost. A man finds a plane hidden in the desert, but when he looks inside, he's stunned. John had always been a man of adventure, and the rumor of a lost plane buried deep in the desert piqued his curiosity. He had heard whispers of a crash that occurred decades ago and was determined to uncover the truth behind it. So he set off on a grueling journey, battling the scorching sun and unforgiving terrain, with nothing but a map and his wits to guide him. Days turned into weeks, and John found himself on the brink of exhaustion, but he refused to give up. He knew that the plane was out there somewhere waiting for him to uncover its secrets, and finally he saw it in the distance, half buried in the sand. As he approached the wreckage, John's heart was racing with excitement. But as he entered the plane, he realized that it was empty. There was no trace of the passengers and no signs of what had caused the crash. But as he searched for clues, he'd noticed something strange, mysterious. Symbols adorned the walls, etched into the metal in a language he could not decipher. John was intrigued. Who had left these symbols here, and what did they mean? He couldn't shake the feeling that they held some kind of significance, that they were the key to unlocking the mystery of the lost plane. Number 13, breathing forest. Have you ever seen something so strange and otherworldly that it makes you question the very fabric of reality? Well, that's exactly what happened to a group of hikers in a forest in Quebec, Canada, when they stumbled upon a truly mind-bending sight. It looked as if the earth was breathing, with a patch of forest floor heaving up and down violently, as if it was gasping for air. Some people thought it was the work of supernatural forces, while others wondered if a giant creature was hiding beneath the soil. But the truth, as it turns out, is far less dramatic. It was just an unusually strong gust of wind, flexing its muscles and pushing and pulling at the forest floor like a mischievous child. Who knew that the wind had such a sense of humor? But here's the thing: even though it was just an illusion, it's a powerful reminder of the incredible forces at work in the natural world. When the trees inhale carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen, they're not just standing still. They're part of a dynamic living system that's constantly in motion. And in this case, it was the perfect storm of circumstances that led to this bizarre and beautiful phenomenon. A heavy thunderstorm had soaked the soil, causing the trees' roots to loosen and their tops to sway dangerously in the wind. It was like the forest was holding its breath, waiting for something incredible to happen. So while it may not have been supernatural, it was still pretty darn amazing. And who knows, maybe there are other mysteries out there just waiting to be uncovered. All we have to do is keep our eyes and ears open and never stop being amazed by the wonders of nature. Number 12, Lost World. Just when you thought the world couldn't get any more surprising, a team of cave exploring scientists stumbled upon a living ancient forest at the bottom of a massive sinkhole. This was found near a small village in Lai County, South China. I mean, talk about a hidden treasure. The sinkhole itself is a beast of a hole measuring 630 feet deep, 492 feet wide, and stretching more than 1,000 feet long. That's big enough to swallow several football fields whole. And to think that there was an entire world hidden away down there that nobody knew about until now. It's like stumbling upon a secret garden, only this one has been growing happily and undisturbed for centuries, possibly even longer. And get this, some of the tree species they found might actually be brand spanking new to science. It's like finding a new flavor of ice cream or something, only it's a whole new species of tree. These trees have been growing in utter isolation for a very long time, thriving and flourishing like it's nobody's business. The team first descended into the massive chasm back in May of 2022, thinking they had reached the bottom, but little did they know they had only scratched the surface of this amazing and unique primitive underground forest. The team had to trudge through a dense undergrowth of lush green vines and towering trees as high as 130 feet for hours before finally reaching the bottom. And let me tell you, it was worth it. Since their initial discovery, the team has returned to the sinkhole several times and made more astounding finds. They found 3 unexplored collapsed caves, an ancient underground river, and even a small underground lake. I mean, this place has it all. This region of China is already famous for its incredible landscape featuring hidden cave systems, underground streams, and sinkholes. But this takes it to a whole new level. Of the 30 massive sinkholes in the area, most are just awe-inspiring geological formations, but this one, it's a whole other level of awesome. It's a pristinely preserved ancient hidden forest that has been growing and thriving undisturbed for centuries. Number 11, Real-Life Tarzan. In the midst of the dense Vietnamese jungle, a remarkable story unfolded in 2013 that left the entire world in awe. It was the tale of a real-life Tarzan, a man who had fled to the jungle with his father during the Vietnam War in 1972 when he was just a young boy, and he didn't emerge from the jungle until 41. Years later, this incredible survivor named Hoven Lang grew up entirely in the forest, isolated from the rest of humanity. His father had picked him up and run to the safety of the dense jungle after the family was torn apart by the war, leaving behind the chaos and destruction of their village. And for over 4 decades, father and son lived completely off the grid, away from the turmoil of the outside world. By the time they were discovered, Hoven Lang was around 42 years old, and he had only seen a handful of people from the outside world during his entire life. But despite his isolation, he was fascinated by modern society, even if he found it a bit noisy, and the world was just as fascinated by him. His story made headlines around the globe. Sadly, after his father passed away, Po Van Lang decided to return to the jungle, where he built himself a small hut on the edge of a mountain near a local village. He continued to live there for many years, until he passed away in 2011 at the age of 52 from liver cancer. Though he's no longer with us, the legacy of Vietnam's Tarzan lives on. His incredible story of survival, isolation, and fascination with the modern world is one that will never be forgotten. Number 10, Lost on Land. The dense jungles of Brazil's Marajo Island are known for their fantastical and sometimes downright weird discoveries, but no one could have anticipated the utterly bizarre find. Made in early 2019, it left scientists and locals alike scratching their heads and wondering just how such a thing could have happened. It all started with a flock of vultures circling the same area of the jungle, arousing suspicion. Upon further investigation, local people stumbled upon the rotting carcass of a giant 10-ton humpback whale, an out-of-place marine mammal in the middle of a swampy mangrove more than 50 feet inland from the coastline, where the rainforest meets the ocean. Photos taken by the local marine conservationist. Groups show the young calf's dead bodies. Splayed out, it lay there strangely in the undergrowth with no visible signs of damage. The authorities and scientists are utterly stumped as to how the whale ended up so far away from its natural habitat or why it was swimming alone off the Mirage Coast in the first place. Humpback whales are typically found much further south and have only rarely been encountered at the mouth of the mighty Amazon River. The prevailing theory is that the whale was already dead. It may have been floating close by in the ocean before being carried to its unnatural resting place by huge waves during a violent storm, but the truth behind this bizarre discovery remains a mystery, and the jungle has once again proven that it can surprise us in the most unexpected ways. Number 9, Mountain River Cave. Deep within the lush and overgrown jungles of Vietnam lies a hidden treasure, a natural wonder so vast and majestic that it defies imagination. It all began in 1991 when a local man stumbled upon a mysterious hole in the earth, billowing clouds of mist and strange sounds emanating from deep within. But it wasn't until 2009 that the world would discover the true magnificence of this hidden gem, led by the same man who first discovered the entrance. A team of cave explorers ventured into the depths of what would later become known as the Hang Sun Doom, the Mountain River Cave, and what they found there was nothing short of awe-inspiring. At over 3 miles long, with sections reaching up to 650 feet tall and 490 feet wide, the Sand Dune Cave is the largest natural cave in the world, a subterranean wonderland big enough to hold an entire city block, complete with towering skyscrapers. And it's not just the sheer size of the cave that makes it so incredible. It's the otherworldly land escapes the towering rock formations, the vast underground rivers, and the undisturbed jungles that all combine to create a hidden masterpiece of nature. And as if that weren't enough, the cave is also home to a treasure trove of ancient fossils and unique animal species, making it a haven for scientists and adventurers alike. It's hard to describe just how amazing the Sand Dune Cave truly is. You really have to see it to believe it. But one thing is for sure, it's a testament to the incredible power and beauty of the natural world, and a reminder that there are still mysteries out there waiting to be uncovered. Number 8, Pieces of the Past. You won't believe what a farmer in the outback of southeastern Australia recently uncovered while working on his land hidden in the heavy iron-rich rocks scattered across his field. He stumbled upon a set of immaculately preserved fossil leaves that were just waiting to be discovered. The area where this incredible find was made is called McGrath's Flat, and it's located in the central tablelands of New South Wales, near the iconic 19th century gold rush town of Gulgong. But here's where things get really interesting. Scientists have now confirmed that this unique site is one of only a handful of places in the entire world where the remains of rainforest ecosystems dating back to the Miocene epoch, a time period between 24 million years and 5 million years ago, have been so well preserved. That's right. We're talking about a glimpse into our planet's distant past that is so clear, it's as if it happened just yesterday. During the Miocene epoch, the planet saw massive ecological change, and the climate of Australia was transitioning from mostly rainforest to the grassy, dry lands we see almost everywhere today. The absolute treasure trove of exceptional fossils found in McGrath's Flat includes many species of ancient creatures that are completely new to science. We're talking enormous trapdoor spiders, giant cicadas, tiny fish, and even a feather from a mysterious ancient bird. But what's even more impressive is that the organisms in this area have been so well preserved that even soft tissue parts have remained intact. That means that even small fragile organisms like insects have turned into well-preserved fossils, giving us an unprecedented glimpse into the distant past of our planet. It's like having a time machine, but without all the complicated buttons and levers. Number 7, Relics of War History Buffs. Gather round, it's time for a tale of bravery, war, and ultimately tragedy. Perhaps you've heard of Admiral Issaruku Yamamoto, the Japanese fighter pilot who met his untimely demise during World War II. But do you know the full story of his fateful flight? On April 18, 1943, Yamamoto was flying in a Mitsubishi G4M, also known as the Betty, when it was shot down by the U.S. Army Force. The Betty was a twin-engine land-based medium bomber that was extensively used by the Imperial Japanese Navy for bombing, transport, and even kamikaze attacks. Yamamoto was one of Japan's most prominent naval officers and is believed to have been the officer who conceived of the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. In April of 1943, U.S. intelligence discovered Yamamoto's flight plan, and commanders in the Pacific Under Two took a mission to ambush and shoot down his plane during an inspection tour of Japanese bases in the South Pacific. Yamamoto's plane was shot down by U.S. Army Force P-38 Lightning fighters near Bougainville Island. Bougainville Island, the site of Yamamoto's plane crash, is geographically the largest of the Solomon Islands in Papua New Guinea, measuring 75 miles long and 40 to 60 miles wide. Interestingly, the autonomous region is set to become the world's newest country sometime around the year 2027. Despite the tragedy of Yamamoto's death, the wreckage of his G4M can still be seen today and has become something of an odd tourist attraction over the years. So the next time you're in Papua New Guinea, why not pay a visit to this piece of history and pay your respects to one of the most prominent figures of World War II. Number 6, Strangers in the Forest. Are you ready to explore the mysteries of the Amazon rainforest? Buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey and we'll discover some of the most fascinating and intriguing finds in the dense green jungle. Did you know that the Amazon rainforest is home to more isolated tribes than anywhere else in the world? Yes, you heard that right. There are scores of villages that have had little to no contact with the outside world, maintaining the same lifestyle for perhaps thousands of years. For a long time, these tribes were just rumors, and most people didn't believe they actually existed. But in the late 2000s, a film crew from the BBC captured amazing footage of one of the uncontacted tribes. They did this by flying nearly 1 mile high over the jungle and using a powerful zoom lens to catch a glimpse into their lives. It was the first time that anyone on the outside world had seen one of these lost tribes on film. But that's not all. Through the years, a handful of brave adventurers and explorers have gone on expeditions through the treacherous Amazon rainforest, exploring the endless green maze of the jungle. They've documented the lives of these amazing people living in complete isolation. Now let's talk about another mysterious find, that of the man of the hole. In the late 1990s, jungle explorers obtained footage of an indigenous man. He was believed to be the last remaining member and sole survivor of an isolated tribe who were all tragically killed in a massacre. He'd lived in complete isolation for decades without contact from the outside world. Explorers found the man's tiny, self-made forest home during an expedition into his lonely territory. The expedition was undertaken to establish whether or not the man was still alive and if he might need help, but unfortunately it was discovered that he had passed away sometime earlier, taking with him the last living memory of his people. The Amazon rainforest is a place of wonder and intrigue, with secrets waiting to be uncovered and mysteries waiting to be solved. Who knows what other fascinating finds are waiting to be discovered in this green jungle. Number 5, Silent Sanctuary. Nestled in the heart of a lush Vietnamese jungle lies a hidden treasure that will take your breath away. The Mai Sun Sanctuary, also known as Beautiful Mountain, is an ancient temple complex dedicated to the Hindu god Shiva, built by the Chopper Kingdom between the 4th and 13th centuries. As you step into this mystical world, you'll be transported back in time to a place where religion and politics intermingled to create something truly awe-inspiring. The Champa people who once ruled over these lands left behind a legacy of architectural brilliance that is sure to leave you speechless. The complex is a testament to the artistic skill and cultural sophistication of the ancient kingdom, built over the course of 900 years. As you wander through the ruins and old temples, you'll catch a glimpse of a world that was once ruled by the Chopper Kingdom. It was a religious and political center, a place of great importance and significance, but sadly the site suffered many misfortunes over the years. It was abandoned when the Chopper Kingdom was conquered by the Vietnamese in 1832, and during the Vietnam War, the temple buildings were completely destroyed. However, despite all the hardship and destruction, the My Sun Sanctuary still stands tall and proud, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Today, it's been declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's easy to see why. The intricate carvings, the imposing architecture, and the stunning natural surroundings all combine to create a truly unforgettable experience. So if you're ever in Vietnam, be sure to take a journey to my son's sanctuary. It's a place where ancient history comes to life and where you can bear witness to the incredible legacy of the Champa Kingdom. Number 4, ancient supercities. For a long time, the dense tropical rainforest of South America have been shrouded in mystery and intrigue. Many in the scientific community believed that there was little left to discover in these impenetrable jungles. With the invention of ever more sophisticated landscape scanning technologies, scientists have been able to uncover secrets that have been hidden for tens of thousands of years deep beneath the lush carpet of vegetation. Recently, researchers from Guatemala have made several amazing discoveries using an incredible new mapping technology known as LIDAR, which stands for light detection and ranging, is a remote sensing method that uses pulsed laser light to measure distances and ranges. It's been particularly useful in uncovering evidence of lost ancient settlements in the rainforest of Guatemala, with LIDAR being used to peer through the thick tree canopy. Thanks to this groundbreaking technology, scientists have discovered the remains of the ancient world's first extensive system of stone highways. These were found in the rainforest of Guatemala. These sophisticated roads once connected hundreds of surrounding settlements and are a testament to the ingenuity and engineering prowess of the ancient Maya people. But that's not all. The LIDAR scans also revealed an enormous 2,000-year-old pre-classical Mayan site. It consisted of an intricate web of nearly 1,000 urban settlements. This incredible network of 417 previously unknown cities was interconnected by more than 100 miles of causeways across an area of about 650 square miles. The LIDAR system also revealed that the ancient Maya people constructed large reservoir systems. These were for water collection and used innovative rainwater management networks in the area. This is just the latest in a rapidly increasing list of ancient Maya sinners and related infrastructure that has been discovered using LIDAR technology. Who knows what other secrets lie beneath the lush green canopy of the rainforests? With this incredible technology, we may be on the brink of uncovering even more incredible discoveries. Number 3, common potu. Our world is full of fascinating creatures, from the bizarre to the beautiful, and yet even among this eclectic menagerie, there is one animal that stands out as truly strange. The potu, this South American bird, also known as the ghost bird, is both elusive and enchanting, with a set of piercing yellow eyes that seem almost too cartoonish to be real. While the potu is a relatively common resident of the jungle stretching from Bolivia to Venezuela, spotting one is a rare and special occurrence. These solitary creatures are nocturnal by nature, venturing out only at night to feast on insects and other creepy crawlies. During the day, they retreat to the safety of the trees, where their mottled feathers blend in perfectly with the bark and branches around them. If you're lucky enough to catch a glimpse of a potu, you'll be treated to a truly unique sight with its massive, shining eyes and halting calls. This bird is unlike anything else you'll encounter in the wild, and if you listen closely, you may even hear the soft trill of a potu song, a sound that is both eerie and enchanting. Despite its elusiveness, the potu is a beloved creature among those who know it best. These monogamous birds mate for life, forming deep bonds with their partners that last for years. And while they may be shy and secretive, they are also friendly and curious, making them a true treasure of the South American jungle. So if you ever find yourself wandering through the forest of Bolivia or Venezuela, keep your eyes peeled for the potu. With its cartoonish eyes and enchanting calls, this strange and wonderful bird is sure to capture your heart and imagination. Number 2, secretive island tribe. Welcome to the Bay of Bengal, a stunning archipelago in the northeastern part of the Indian Ocean, filled with over 180 beautiful tropical islands. But don't let the picture-perfect scenery fool you, because hidden among these idyllic landscapes are the Cincinnati's people, the most isolated tribe in the world, living on their own tiny forested island called North Sentinel, which is approximately the size of Manhattan. These folks have managed to keep their language, culture, and way of life hidden from the rest of the world. No one knows what they call themselves or what language they speak, and that's just the way they like it. And when we say isolated, we mean it. The first time the government made contact with them was in 1991, and most encounters have been from A distance trespassing on their island is strictly forbidden, and the punishment is severe death. The Sentinelese have made it clear that they want nothing to do with the outside world and have been known to attack and kill anyone who comes too close. But there is one thing that seems to appease them: coconuts. These rare and highly valued commodities are not native to their island, so when they are gifted with coconuts, they become surprisingly receptive. It's like offering candy to a kid. You might just make a friend for life. Most of what we know about these mysterious people has been gathered from boats moored at a safe distance from the beach, or brief periods where government officials were allowed to get close enough to hand over some precious coconuts. The Sentinelese sustain themselves through hunting, gathering and fishing in their small, isolated forest and the surrounding coastal waters. They are true survivors, living independently without any help from the modern world. So if you ever find yourself in the Bay of Bengal, remember to keep your distance from the Cincinnatis. While they may be the most isolated tribe in the world, they're also one of the strongest and most resilient. Number 1, breathing tree. Have you seen the creepy video of the breathing tree that's been doing the rounds on the internet? It's been causing quite a stir. In the video, you can see a tree with a big split down the middle of its trunk, and it's moving in a bizarre breathing-like motion. It looks like the tree is heaving, opening and closing its trunk rhythmically like a pair of lungs. Working the video was taken by a man who was walking through the forest after a big storm had ripped through the area. He was looking for hazard trees and stumbled upon this weird tree. The man was so taken aback by what he saw that he decided to start recording the spectacle to share it with the world. Apparently, the man had already taken down a few other damaged trees in the area when he heard a loud cracking noise. He went to investigate and discovered the strange sight. Although it may seem like something completely unnatural, the phenomenon is caused by strong gusts of wind blowing through the forest, causing the damaged tree to move in this peculiar way. The video was taken in a forested area somewhere in Calgary, Canada. This happened after the region experienced heavy rain and strong winds for several days. It's amazing how this bizarre incident might have gone unnoticed by anyone had it not been for the wandering man armed with a camera. So the next time you're out in the woods, keep your eyes peeled for any trees that might be doing their best impression of a set of lungs. All of these incredibly rare discoveries show that there may be hidden and forgotten worlds in our jungles, and we are yet to uncover them. But for now, be sure to check out our other videos that you see floating on screen. Thanks for watching, friends, and